Morning, Botai. Erev Shabbat Shalom. Yesterday we started speaking about the halachot of koshering liver. The halacha is that once the liver is cut deeply, vertically and horizontally, and then grilled, la halacha, you can do whatever you want with it. You can eat it grilled, you can then cook it or saute it or fry it, whatever you want to do afterwards, because then it's considered completely kasher, and that's fine. However, there is a caveat to that law, which is this only applies if the liver is grilled within 3 days of the shechita, which means once it's grilled within 3 days of shechita, then we say that the fire or the grilling takes out all of the blood from inside the liver. However, if it happens after 3 days from the shechita, the halacha is that there's always going to be some blood inside that gets congealed inside the liver, and the fire is not going to be able to take out. And therefore, la halacha, if the grilling is happening after 3 days of the shechita, you can grill it and eat it as is, but you are not allowed to then cook it or fry it or saute it or whatever it is, because when you do that, the blood that's still inside is going to move from one place to another inside the piece, and it's going to be asur as a result of the cooking. That's lechatechila. B'di'avad, if a person didn't know the halacha, even if it was done after 3 days of cooking, 3 days of the shechita, and you grilled it and then cooked it, b'di'avad, it's still fine, but lechatechila, you shouldn't do that. In Eretz Yisrael, it's very common that when you go to buy fresh liver, on the package, it says the date of shechita, so that you know when you buy it, whether it's within 3 days of the shechita or not, and then you know what the halacha, what to do in terms of grilling and then cooking or not. In America, it's not so common, so you should always assume when buying fresh livers, do not assume that it's within 3 days of the shechita, and therefore if you're buying fresh livers and koshering them yourself, you should only grill and eat it grilled like that, and don't cook it or saute it afterwards because of this halacha. Now, another interesting din, Maran Zechron Livracha brings down in Chavedat, is that, let's say, right after the shechita, they take the liver and they deep freeze it. They freeze it. The halacha is that the clock stops. You can begin to count the 3 days from when the liver is thawed. So that's another interesting halacha. It's not usually done. Most fresh livers that are sold today are not frozen. They come fresh. They're refrigerated, whatever it is, but not frozen. So therefore, over there, like we said, a person should be careful. If you don't know when the shechita was, assume it's after 3 days, and therefore only grill it and eat it as is, and not cooked afterwards. Have a wonderful day, and Shabbat Shalom.